Okay, now that we have our new entity, let's take a look at what we need to do to generate a refresh token. And what we'll do first of all, we'll head over to our token service that we created. And currently what we're doing is we're just issuing a token from here. And what we're also doing is giving our JWT a very excessive expiry time. Now we're going to change this, and we won't use date time now. We need to be a bit more accurate. So we're going to say UTC now, and then we're going to say add minutes. And just for testing purposes, we're going to set this to expire in a minute. And this will save us from hanging around too long waiting for a token to expire to see if our new system is working. And what we'll also do is we'll create a method to generate a refresh token. So we'll say public, and we're going to return a refresh token from this. And we'll call it generate refresh token. So what we'll do in here is we'll just create some code to generate a randomized string of text, and we'll say var random number equals new bytes of 32, or new byte array of 32, and then we'll say using, and we'll say var and rng equals random number generator, which is a framework class we get from system security cryptography. And then we'll use the create method so that we have access to a random number generator. And then we'll say rng get bytes, and we'll pass in our random number. And then we can return a new refresh token. And all we need to specify in here is the token itself, and we'll say convert to base 64 string, and we'll pass in our random number, which will give us a nice randomized string of text which will form our refresh token. And what we also want to do is head over to our identity service extensions. And what we're not doing at the moment is validating the lifetime of our token. Even if our token expires right now, it's still going to be accepted by our server because we haven't added that as a validation parameter inside here. So what we'll do is we'll say validate lifetime of the token equals true. And the lifetime of a token has a 5-minute window. So even if it expires in a minute, then our token validation parameters by default will allow it to be used for a further 5 minutes afterwards. So what we'll do is we'll add a clock skew, and we'll set the time span, which we need to get from system, and set this to 0, and this way that default 5-minute window is removed, and as soon as our token expires, then it will cease to be a valid token. So what we'll take a look at next is updating our account controller and what we need to do to return this refresh token.